Hello, my name is Waynisha Smith, and I will be doing an episode review of Grimm. This season is wrapping up, everybody, and it is, to be honest, better than any show that I have watched in a very long time. I'm not liking the way Person of Interest is going. Basically, they just showed us the ending and we lost, and I'm not liking that. But in Grimm, I am enjoying it to the fullest. I really am. And I want to see where Black Claw goes. I want to see what they're going to do. Right now, Renard, I still don't feel like he's with Black Claw. I still feel like he will betray Black Claw in a second a better deal comes around. But right now, Black Claw is in power, and they're offering him a position of power. And I guess in the Hexen Beast community, male Hexen Beasts are attracted to power. And I guess that's a thing. I guess because it seems like in the Hexen Beast community, females are always more powerful when it comes to magic and stuff like that. But so that leaves male Hexen Beasts kind of at their mercy. But they're not completely helpless. They have power, as in they're attracted to powerful positions in life, whether that be mayor, police chief, president, whatever it is, they're not completely without power. So this episode is season 5, episode 20. And everything is just going great. And by the way, I just want to touch this one thing. We are a go for season 6 of Grimm. Like, just a go. And I am just so happy for this show to have a season 6. It deserved a season 6 because they brought their freaking A game. But depending on how this season ends will depend on whether or not I'm ready for season 6. And so far, I'm liking how they do everything. I just don't want Eve to go back to being Juliet. I really don't. Maybe some people out there would love for Juliet to go back to be Eve to go back to be Juliet, but I don't. To me, I hate flip-flopping. Let me explain what flip-flopping is. Your character went from being good to bad to bad to good, good to bad to bad to good all through the season. It becomes old and it takes away the moral grounding a bit. That is good for me. That is good at least 2 times. 3 times you're pushing it. And I hate flip-flopping with a passion. Your character just needs to stay on one side and that's just freaking it. I don't care how some people are like, oh, but Waynisha, it's better this way. It's more realistic. For me, I don't care. I'm here to enjoy my show and storytelling element. The reason why I love Hannibal so much because my freaking characters didn't freaking flip-flop. Will was good, but then he went to the bad side. He wasn't flip-flopping through the whole season. They made that process very, very slow. And then he went to the bad side, or maybe he was still good. I don't know. Okay, I don't care for flip-flopping in my shows. I really don't. Characters need to pick a side and stick to it. And if you're in the middle, that's your side. Stick to it. You're in the middle. So anyway, this episode was just wow. I'm gonna go through some elements in this episode. And I want to start off by talking about Wu. Wu, he's like, okay, I'm not crazy. I know what I am, kind of. I know I'm not a Vessin, but I know I could turn into something that's sort of like a Vessin. And he's like, in order to protect myself or stuff like that, I need to learn to control it. And to be honest, if you were Wu and you knew you could turn into something, you wouldn't get any much sleep either, would you? You wouldn't get no sleep whatsoever. You'd be like, I need to do this again. And I feel like I would be doing exactly what Wu's doing. Wu's like us people who are like a normal human, but say if you got the ability to turn to a wolf or creature, you're going to be on that until you learn how to control that. For humans, we are going to be on that. We are not slow-moving creatures. We are on it 24/7. We're like, we're going to figure this out, and then we'll do something else. And that's what Wu did. He figured it out. I'm not sure. He doesn't have full complete control, but he at least learned how to trigger his transformations. At least a bit. So now that he's learning how to do that, he's going to that's a good story plot. We can use that to intervene in the story. I would love to see Wu in battle in that form. Weasons will be scared for a minute, like, I never saw you before. And then there'll be a big fight, and I want to see Wu use that form. So, I mean, tell me, what do you guys think? Like, do you want to see Wu use that form in fighting? I know I do. So, okay, moving off of Wu, we're going to go back to Hank's betraying girlfriend. And to be honest, I didn't want her to betray Hank. Hank needs a love interest. And what's going to happen to that girl's brother? He's still young. He needs a parent in his life. I feel so sorry for that kid. I mean, I don't feel sorry for the betraying girlfriend, but I feel sorry for the kid. The kid's literally a good person. And I think she's a good person too, but she's just doing this because it's Black Claw. And which side is bigger than me? Is Black Claw bigger than me? Or is Nick and Hank's side bigger than me? She's like, no, Black Claw is bigger than me because Black Claw could take me into a mountain somewhere and make me disappear and do something to my brother. She's afraid. But at the same time, this is a group that's offering her a life without hiding, a life without being afraid, a life in power. And for me, I would jump at the opportunity. I think I might jump at the opportunity too if, say, a black group was offering me the same thing. I would think about it for a while. I'd be like, is this the right path or anything? And I'm just like, I know it's a TV show. We shouldn't think of like that. I'm sorry, but it's sort of like that. Like, imagine you had to hide your whole life. Imagine you're always on the bottom of the food chain and you're constantly dealing with people who are always on top, always smug, always something like that. And a group comes on, offering you, say, you don't have to live that anymore. You don't have to ever live like that again. You probably wouldn't jump at the opportunity, but you at least think about it. And if they're threatening you life or death, you will go with it and sort of be on their side. But the thing is about this Vessin world, I feel like that if Vessins were to be in charge, all Vessin would not be on the same level. You mean to tell me that the mouse people would be on the same level as the tiger people? No. There's going to be a caste system. They're using the Vessin's fears and angers and upsettingness that they all have in common to complete a goal. But once that goal is complete, there's going to be a caste system. The Vessin with teeth and claws and great abilities are going to be at the top. In the middle is going to be the Vessin that are strong but not so threatening in the middle. And at the other part, we're going to have the mouse people, the rat people, the ferret people, stuff like that. Right there. And at the very bottom, we're going to have the humans. See, there's going to be a caste system in place. And that's my thing with Black Claw. I'm all for, this is a people that wants to come out of the shadows. I'm all for that. But they're not. But when they say all Vessin must join together and be equal, that's a lie. They're not going to do that. To be honest, they're just using these people to claim a victory so they can have power. And once they have that power, a lot of Vessin are going to be kicked to the side like it ain't nothing. That's what would make me, if I had to join if some group came to me like, Wanisha, we want to take over the world and stuff like that, you either join or die, I'd be like, okay. So who exactly is going to be in charge after we're done doing all the dirty work? And are we going to get kicked to the side again? That's the thing. When a group wants to take over, they will use other people's frustration, anger against them. and use that frustration and anger to make an army for themselves to take over the world. And then once they have what they want, that group is going to be kicked to the side like a freaking puppy. Now let's move on from Black Claw and Hank's girlfriend that betrayed him. I'm glad they didn't show her get tortured completely, because I feel sorry for her. I really do. So moving on from that, we're going to go to Adeline and her child. A lot of people out there might think Adeline's child's evil, but I'm going to say exactly what I said in the last video. This is a kid that has been taken flip-flopping back and forth from place to place to place to place. Once she was Black Claw, next she's with the Resistance, next she's with Adrian's Wall. And she's just tired of it. All she wants is her mommy and daddy to be together. Everything she has done has been leading up to that moment. She just wants that, nothing more. That's why every time she looks at the captain's love interest, she doesn't smile. She just gives her a look, and the captain's love interest is just like, wow, I'm scared of this little girl. If I was that captain's love interest, I'll be like, you know what, it's time for me to go. And the little girl's just like, you ain't getting a hit, lady? I want you out of here. I want you gone. My parents need to be together, and they can't do that if you two are together. I don't think the little girl cares for Black Claw or Adrian Wall. She just wants her parents together, and I don't think she's evil for that. I think she's a little twisted, but I don't think she's just full-on fledged evil, enjoying people's pain and suffering. She just doesn't want anyone to be with her parents, and her parents to be together and as a family. Divorce is not in this little girl's vocabulary. But if she can have only one parent, she will take her mom, and that's it. Like, if push comes to shove and there's a life raft out there, she'll just take her mom, and that's it. She's good. And the little girl, as far as the baby with her little brother, to her, that's just even more. She has a bigger family. She has a little brother, and she has her mommy, and she has her daddy. So she just wants to hold him, and she's just using her power. So I don't think there's anything sinister behind that. And as for this guy that's kind of threatening and skinny and stuff, like, I don't know what his name is or what he is, but he wants Renard to recruit Nick, and Nick is like, no, I'm not joining up. Like, you just sold us out for your own power game. And Renard's like, the Kirschite, the humans have this world and they've been messing it up forever. And Nick was like, you're just in this for power. And the only way to protect the ones I love is not just to give them away. Like, I will fight. And I'm looking forward to that. And Trouble is freaking awesome, by the way. Trouble is my ride or die girl. She's like, Nick, if you want to go to Renard's place or hunt him down and go kill him and cut his head off, just say the word and I'm going with you. If Nick has no one else to rely on, it's Trouble and their ride or die people. And Nick shows Trouble the stick and tells Trouble, if anything happens to me, here is the stick and stuff like that. Use it. I mean, not use it, but here it is. You're Grimm, and you're the only person I have told, which is a lie, because he has showed the stick to Rosalie and Monroe. And that's honestly the truth. He hasn't shown the stick to Meisner, because I think Nick is. If I was Nick, I'll be doing the same thing. I wouldn't show this stick to Meisner. I would have Hank, Monroe, Rosalie, and Trouble know, and that is it. Because Meisner is full-on fledged with the government. And as we all know, things change. Governments can't be trusted, even if their government's interest is in your interest at the moment. 5 years later, the government interest might not be in your interest, or maybe a year later. So you can't trust the government, even though the government is on your side at the moment. The only time I would trust the government if it's an alien invasion and we have no choice. That is the only time. But other than that, I wouldn't. The stick looks powerful. One half of the stick means cure, miracle. And the other half of the stick means destruction and death. So, I wouldn't trust anybody with that stick. But a few people. And speaking of Monroe and Rosalie, they want this to be over, but they are with Nick to the very end. And they are just my favorite couple on this show. I bet the producer was like, we gotta have at least one stable couple. Let that be Monroe and Rosalie. So I think I covered everything about this episode. And so far, this episode was like filling us up for the ending. It was filling us up for the season finale. This 2-hour season finale. Writers, producers, you had a very long time to build this up. Now all you have to do is just go full on out freaking war on everybody. And fight and stuff like that. That's all you have to do. To be honest, I am okay if Kirschite found out that other vests didn't exist and whatnot. I really am okay with it. Like for a moment. Like not even for a moment, like forever. Like if this is no longer in our world and this became their, like another universe. Like right now, for me, Grimm is like a story about people like me in a regular world dealing with invest and hide themselves for me. But the minute that Kirschite no longer knows, it's no longer my world, it's their world. And I'm okay with that as long as it's done right. If you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Let me just have one awesome bang off fighting thing. And that would be cool. So, tell me what you think, guys, everybody. And the writers, you really have to bring it. You have to bring it. This point out to the next season, you have to bring it. If you do such a good job that NBC approves you for season 7, that would be great. So, bye, everybody. Have a nice day. Tell me what you think about this episode in the comment section. And goodbye. Have a nice day.